back to my channel. I am Liz with Liz Hearts Bookish, and today I am doing two things. So today I got my fairy loot box, and I'm very excited about it because it's my first fairy loot box I ever got. And I ordered one to see exactly what it is they send and if I wanted to actually do a subscription or not. So yes, I'm going to do an unboxing for that. Then I am going to talk about my February wrap up in the books that I've read and slash listened to for the month of February. So stay tuned. As you can see, here is my fairy loot box. I have not opened it, so I'm going to open it right now as soon as I get it. I recently cut my nails super short, so I have no claws, and the easiest thing would be for me to actually get my scissors, which are like not that far from me, but that would be, you know, the smart thing for me to do. Alright, I'm gonna get scissors. Let's cut this thing open. Let's see. Got it. Okay. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it. First quote you see. Okay. Ooh, their crinkly paper is purple. My favorite color. I love purple. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to get my trash bag. Trash bag. Okay, crinkly paper in the trash. Do that right away. The inside of this box is like super pretty. It's like butterflies and different shapes. Look at the inside of this box. Very pretty. Anyway, all right, first thing, whatever this is, it's dishwasher safe and microwave safe. So it's dishwasher and microwave safe, and it is based on The Serpent and Dove, which I love. I love that book. I like that book anyway. It was a lot of mixed reviews on it, but I liked it. And it is a ceramic mug. Look at this snake though. Like, I'm not crazy about it. The design of this box. What else? Oh, this is cute. And you have like, you have a serpent and dove in the inside. That's cute. And then this is what it looks like. I think that's cute. So I get, So I guess she is that's Lou. I wonder if she's Lou. And he is, what the heck was his name? I don't remember his name, but whatever. But look at the serpent and the dove looking at each other like they're gonna kiss. That's some strange stuff right there. But I can't wait to use that, or some keys, or I might just use it as a collectible. Who knows? Okay, and the next thing is two pretty bookmarks. This one says, never flinch, never fear, and never ever forget. And that's by J. Kristoff. It's a pretty bookmark. And the second one, also by J. Kristoff, says, the books we love, they love us back. And just as we mark our places in the pages, those pages leave their mark on us. Which is very true. And then collector cards. This one is 10 of Cups. And this one is 9 of Cups. Okay. And then a luggage tag. So this is a luggage tag. And it says, one does not simply walk into Mordor. And it's designed by @bookmarked.tattoos. So you can see that. And this is the spoiler card, which I don't need because I'm already looking through it, so spoiled. So then we have some lip gloss or chapstick or whatever you want to call it. That will not focus. Okay. Because you don't like me so much. Why won't you focus? Okay. It is strawberry processo. Interesting. Okay. It's different. And then this, I'm gonna assume, is a scarf, which is like super long and pretty. It's a cat with books and thorns. You can see the pattern. It's just, it repeats. So, but it's like super long. And it's a fairy loot thorn scarf. And I'm not a scarf person, but this is pretty. I might have to wear it. And the artwork. And another bookmark. And this is the fairy loot bookmark. Because that has no sense. And a sticker. Too many books. Too few centuries. And that's also by J. Kristoff. So what the heck is the book? Here's the sticker. Cute sticker. That's the sticker. And the book that's in this cute bag. Happy reading. This is cute. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'll let you see it first. Hold on. Wait. Okay, there's some stuff in here. Oh, this is next month, and then postcards. And it says, after all, love is an excellent motivator to kill. Say what? Say no. Love is an excellent motivator to kill. I wouldn't know. And then next month, break the curse. Okay, let's see. It is The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. This is so pretty. This is such a pretty book. That is pretty. And then you have a rose. And it's in my favorite color. And then if you take off the sleeve, you have pictures inside. What? I'm for it. I love it. It's too cute. I must say, it's just too cute. And then, look at this. Whoever designed this just knew what they were doing. They didn't waste a cent on this because this is too pretty. This is such a pretty color. And I have no idea what this is about, so I'm going to quickly read the little summary they have here. It says, they've never found the body of the first and only boy who broke my heart, and they never will. Ooh. Alexandra is tired of being overlooked, but she has a plan to gain power. 1. Woo the Shadow King. 2. Marry him. 3. Kill him and take his kingdom for herself. You go, girl. No one knows the extent of the freshly crowned Shadow King's power. Some say he can command the shadows that swirl around him to do his bidding. Others say they speak to him, whispering the thoughts of his enemies. Regardless, Alexandra knows that she deserves, and knows what she deserves, and she's going to do everything within her power to get it. But Alexandra is not the only one trying to kill the king. As attempts on his life are made, she finds herself trying to keep him alive long enough for him to make her his queen, all while struggling not to lose her heart. After all, who better for a Shadow King than a cunning, villainous queen? Ooh, that's true. You do your thing, girl. Do what you gotta do. And so that is all from my fairy loot box, my very first fairy loot box. So, do you think that the fairy loot box is worth it? These are cute things. I like these bookmarks. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like if I do get the fairy loot box, it's gonna be for these bookmarks because I love bookmarks. And these are like super cute. I actually want to laminate them. They're so cute. They're so cute. Let's see. And then you have these cards. I'll have to think on it. I have to think if I want to continue the fairy loot. But this stuff is cute. Oh, yeah, I have the scarf. Put the stuff back in the box. Come on, little girl. Alright. But I do like this bag that they send these books in. Cute, they're cute little book sleeves. They took books around it. Okay. So now that that is over and done with, now I can get into my wrap. Hopefully I have enough battery power to finish this video. So, hello and welcome back. So this is my February wrap up. So for the month of February, I read a total of 13 books. My favorite book this month was Slay. I read 4,505 pages total. that includes the audio, because I looked up how many pages were in the actual book up on Goodreads. So that also is played into my calculations of total pages read, because listening does count. So 4 of those were print books and 9 of them were audiobooks. So the first book that I read for the month of February was Ghosts of the Shadow Market, and that is by Cassandra Clare, along with Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, Kelly Link, and Robin Wasserman. And that basically is different short stories based on the Shadowhunter series. It has a lot to do it's, I think, prequels to some things around James Carstairs, and he's traveling through the shadow markets, and it's like different years, different years that it takes place in. And then I think the last one is Alex and, well, more to do with Alex and Magnus. So I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I liked it. It was a lot of information only because I've only read the Mortal Instruments series, and I haven't actually read the other series in this Shadowhunter world. So it was like I was trying to remember who exactly some of the characters were. I read maybe the first 2 chapters in Clockwork Angel. I think that's the first one in the Infernal Devices series, but I only started one. I was only one book in Infernal Devices. And so if you haven't read the other books, yes, you can read these as standalones. However, you can just enjoy the stories, but I think it helps if you've read the other books within the whole Shadowhunter world. That's just my advice and my opinion. So yeah. The next book I read was Love Boat Taipei, and that is by Abigail. I have the book right here. Love Boat Taipei, and that's by Abigail Hing Win. And this I gave a 4.5 star rating. I did like the book. It was a good book. It's about a Chinese American girl who her parents, she doesn't really speak Mandarin, so to help her with her Mandarin, her parents decide to sign her up for this Love Boat type of summer enrichment program where you go to China, Taiwan, right? And okay, so I can't remember. I think it's China or Taiwan or something in that vicinity, in the European country somewhere. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I feel bad. But yeah, so we follow the main character of Abigail, and she is, while she's learning Mandarin, she's also basically finding out about, she's also getting in touch with her Chinese side, basically. So the whole big premises of the Love Boat is to, while learn Mandarin, also is to find another Chinese American to be your mate, basically. So it's like it's really a love boat type ordeal. Although they're not on a boat, they are in a hotel, and the whole point is to have fun and meet other people that are basically like you, because 9 times out of 10 you are from somewhere in the US where you're pretty much maybe the only Chinese American in your town and or school or wherever. And so we follow the our main character. Her name is Ever. Her name is Ever, and she basically finds out who her real friends are, and my nose is itching, sorry. So Ever finds out that she doesn't really want to be the typical Chinese American daughter that her parents have in their mind that she should be. They want her to do something that basically will bring in a lot of money, and so she will have a successful future. So like anything that has to do maybe with it being a doctor or a lawyer or something to that effect. But however, Ever, she wants to dance. She doesn't want to do any of that. She wants to perform. That's what she likes doing. That's what she wants to do with her life. But she also wants to be a good Chinese American daughter. So she learns how to basically accept who she is, and she finds a way to, she just finds herself, I guess. And then also in the story you have the other characters, which make the story even funnier. There's the one that these like a boy band, like, but it's not a boy band, but it's a boy group or whatever, and you have them. They're very funny, they're kind of political, and they talk about all of the basically Chinese stereotypes that Americans have for them, and they laugh basically and make fun of each other, and they make fun of it, and it's all in fun, and it's hilarious to read about. And it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, it's one of those type of things where they can make fun of themselves, but don't you dare do it, you know. It's kind of one of those things, but I thought it was enjoyable. Okay, so next book that I read this month is, I'm going in order based on my calendar. And you can't see and it's not focusing. But anyhow, so this is a side note. This is a novel companion that I had bought, and it's by Little Inklings Design, and it's cute. She also makes planners. I unfortunately was not fortunate enough to buy a planner in time because I didn't know about it. Someone had told me about her planners, and when I went on the site they were already sold out. So, but she did have the companion, which is basically like a condensed planner, but it's for bookish people. So basically you have calendars, TBR, new releases, book hauls, things of that nature that you can fill out, and I liked it. I thought it's cute, and I figured why not try it out. So I use that in addition to my bullet journal. But anyway, back to my wrap up. The next book is Tristan Strong. Tristan Strong, and this is by Kwame Mbolia, I think Mbolia. This is a middle grade book. It's a middle grade novel, and it's endorsed by Rick Riordan. So so it's definitely a mythology, so it's enriched with West African mythology. So I also talked about this book in my reading blog on it, so if you want to listen to me rant or talk about the book, then I would suggest watching the video. But anyway, this took me a while to get through, only because it's like super, it's super in-depth, and I had to keep going back and, you know, underlining and retracing, and just to get an understanding of what was going on in the story. And also I was looking up the gods that they were talking about within the story. I didn't mention that in my reading vlog, however, but yes, so it took me a while to get through, and then also I was falling asleep a lot. So yeah, it was a busy week. Anyway, I give that a 5 out of 5 stars. It was really good. And the next book that I read is The Ballad of Black Tom. I do not actually have a physical copy of it, but that book is by Victor Lavelle. Yes, so The Ballad of Black Tom is by Victor Lavelle, and that is basically I think it's an adult novel, and it's basically about a black man who, at the end of the story, basically he sold his soul to the devil because of the brutality in which he was suffering under, and he had enough. So enough was enough for him, so he did what he had to do, plain and simple. I thought it was a pretty good read. It's kind of creepish, but if you ever read the Diviner series, then reading The Ballad of Black Tom would be, you know, right up your alley. It's a quick read. It's pretty good. It's really good. I give it a 4 out of 5 star rating. But I would suggest checking it out yourself. It's only 149 pages, so simple. The next book I listened to or read this month was what was the name of that book? The Hand on the Wall, and that's by Maureen Johnson. It is the final chapter the final book in the Truly Devious series, and if you have not read the Truly Devious series, I would suggest you read it because it is really good. It is a YA fantasy, and it's about a girl who goes to this school, and to get into the school you basically have to be gifted in something. Her thing was solving mysteries, so that's what she does. She solved mysteries. She went there on the premise of solving a 20-year-old mystery that no one else seemed to be able to unravel, and this was the final book in that series. I thought it was what I thought and what actually happened were two different things, but however, I was not disappointed in it. I gave that book a 4 out of 5 star rating. Give the book a 4 out of 5 star rating. The next book I read was Anonymous Girl, and that is by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pinkane, and my camera is about to die, FYI, so I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as I possibly can. Hopefully I can, fingers crossed. If not, I will come back and continue with this video at a later point in time, just so you know. All right, so back to the wrap up. So this is Anonymous Girl, and it's by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pinkane. So this is an adult thriller, and basically I give it a 3.5 star ratings. It was good. It was kind of wackadoo. No, it wasn't wackadoo. It was a good thriller. It was kind of it was a psychological thriller, actually, because it really was in, like, you were in the mindset and analyzing a lot of things. I didn't care too much, so it's told in a dual perspective. I wasn't crazy on how the main character that was being analyzed, let me see what her name is, Jessica. So I wasn't crazy about Jessica's parts. If you read it, I would suggest reading it. It's not a bad read. It's actually a good book. I just wasn't crazy on her narrative perspective of her story. But basically it's about this psychologist who basically who set up this research project to analyze people's minds, and basically is giving them a different way of thinking. So it's you're basically opening your own eyes to the things around you and to think more analytical about the world in which you live in. And it gets kind of stalkerish at a point, which is the point of the whole story. And it also ties in with how it all wraps up as to why the doctor was doing the things in which she was doing. And so the next book is, okay, I'm back. So I had to handle my battery situation, and now I'm back. All right, so I don't remember where I left off at, so I'm going to go back to An Unkindness of Ghosts, and that is by Rivers Solomon. And this is a book about a female protagonist, and she is in outer space because Earth was, I guess, what was Earth? Earth was somehow not livable any longer, so the people that were on Earth, I guess, had moved to another planet in space, or they're on a space station, I can't remember, but so it does take place in space, and the whole system that is there is not, it's not friendly to the lower class, so basically, but it's also just not a great place to live, period. And so Aster, who is a doctor, she is uncovering her mother's, her mother had passed away when she was really young, so I think her grandma raised her, and what else happens? And so she grows up, but she really doesn't have good social skills with and she takes everything literal. She can't really lie. She's not good at lying, and if she does lie, she's very good at it because she's not that great of a liar, and she just doesn't see the point of beating around the bush, basically. So she's very frank about everything she says. She's just cut and dry. It is what it is. She doesn't understand emotions or other people's emotions. Like I said, she has terrible social skills, basically. So we follow Aster as she tries to decode her mother's journals, because her mother was trying to find a way to turn the spaceship around and go back to Earth, so she can basically they can have a better life, I guess, on the planet. I don't remember, but and it's so sad because I read it like not too long ago. But anyway, so yeah, so that is An Unkindness of Ghosts. I did a terrible job of summarizing, but you should read it, so, and then you can summarize it yourself. Next book is Kingdom of Souls, and this is by Rena Barron. It's about a witch doctor it was a blood magic family. So the highest rank is, I think, a witch doctor. You have different powers. the children get their powers when they're very young. They start seeing their powers when they're very young. However, our main character, Aura, does not receive her powers. She can't understand why she has not received her powers. She doesn't know what she's done wrong or what she can do to obtain these powers. She is a daddy's girl, and one of the main reasons she wants the powers is basically to be like the rest of her family, but also to have a better relationship with her mom. Her mom is the high priest. No, not high priestess. What's her mom? Her mom is a seer, and she had always wanted her daughter, I guess, to have these powers, but unfortunately she did not. And Aura does no. So then these children go missing in the village. And so Aura tries to find out who it is that who is stealing the children in the village, because one of the children that was stolen was a street, well, he wasn't a street pusher, he was a fisherman's son, I think, or something to that effect. But he was basically abused. He was an abused child, but Aura took him basically under her wing like a little brother, and she always looked out for him. And then he became one of the children that had went missing. So she started searching for the person that was taking the children. She finds out who was responsible for the children going missing, and that's when basically the events start happening in the book. So it wasn't a quick read for me. It took me a minute to get through this book because it was some dry spells going on for me anyway. And so yeah, it took me a while to get through this book, but I made it through. I'm not crazy about the ending, so I do give this book a 4-star rating. It was a good book. Do not get me wrong, do not misunderstand. I did like the book, it was good. But it just was. It was what it was. It wasn't anything too exciting, too daring. It was just, that's it. It just was. Next book is Slay, and this is by Brittany Morris. I love this book. I gave this book 5 stars because it was awesome. I also talked about it in my reading. I did a reading vlog on this book because this was another book that I read for Blackathon, and it was on my to be read list since last year when it came out. And it's funny because I had gotten an advance copy at BookCon in June, and I had still never read it, but I finally read it, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't read it before. But anyway, moving on. It's basically about our main character. It's a YA fantasy, and it's about a girl who basically was really good at coding. So she made a virtual reality world for only black kids, or black people rather, not just kids, but black people. And the whole world, the world is just made, it's about black reference things, and she created it because although there were although there were other, virtual reality worlds in which people could be involved in, they weren't very black people friendly, basically. So she wanted to create a world where black people could be themselves and be whoever they wanted to be. And so it was for black people only, and you had to have the password, and the only way you get a password is from someone who is already a member of the game world, or who's already a member of Slay. So yeah, that's what it's called. It's called Slay, and it's really cute because it has to deal with her virtual world affecting, basically. So yeah, so her virtual world is starting to affect her real world. So it was a good book. She did her thing. I must say, Brittany, waiting for your next book. And the last book I read this month is, well, I'm sorry, that's not the last book I read, but this is the last physical book that I have that I read this month, and it is Naomi, and it is a graphic novel, and it is by Brian Michael Bendis, David F. Walker, and Jamal Campbell. So look at this. Yes, that cover is amazing. So this is volume 1 or season 1 of the Naomi series. This is the first 6 issues in the series, all in one book, and it's about a teenager who feels like she is not, I don't know, I can't describe it. So she basically feels like she is meant for more, because Superman had came to her town and he fought a villain, and then he came back and cleaned up his mess, and then she's like, how did I miss Superman, or whatever. And she's but she feels like that she, I guess, is somehow tethered to the superhero role, but she finds out that she is actually adopted, and her adopted parents tell her how they came to receive her, and then she realizes that she actually is a superhero, or she has superpowers. She doesn't really know anything about herself yet, and so this is just the beginning of her story. But it was a really good graphic novel, and I'm glad I did pick it up. And I don't know how to rate a graphic novel, but the pictures were really pretty and the story was really good. It was a very easy read, honestly, right in the day, so it was that intriguing. So moving on, the next book I want to talk about is From the Desk of Zoe Washington, and I don't have the actual physical copy, although I did try to find it at my local Barnes & Nobles, but I was not able to find it. So yes, and this I'll tell you in a minute. So From the Desk of Zoe Washington is by Janae Marks, and this, it was so cute. It's a middle grade novel, and it was just so adorable. So our main character, Zoe, she she basically reconnects with, so first, Zoe wants to be a baker. She wants to be a pastry chef when she gets older because she loves to bake. I can relate. But so for her birthday, she gets a letter from her father, her biological father, who is in jail, and that's how the story starts. So she has a back and forth relationship with her biological father. They write letters. The problem is, her mother does not actually want her to interact with her father, who's in jail, only because of the reason in which he had found himself in jail. And so she doesn't tell her mom or her dad about her correspondence with her biological father. And so as she's learning about him, she's learning more about herself. And she's also in a process, she wants to be on a TV show that has to do with the kids baking show, because she wants to be a pastry chef when she gets older, like I said. And so her mom gives her an internship basically with her friend who owns a bakery, and so depending on how she does at the bakery would determine if her parents would let her go on the TV show. But as she's doing that, she's also invested in her father's case and how he ended up in jail. So it's very adorable. It's so cute. I just like, oh, I just couldn't stop awing. It was funny, but yeah. The next one is Binti, and that was by Nadine Aquifer. Nadine Aquifer. I hope I said that right. And this is a sci-fi read, adult sci-fi read, and it takes place in space. And so excuse me. So the main character, I don't remember her name, and I don't have the physical books. So so the main character, she is from Africa, I believe, and the first person in her country to enter into this program, I guess, I think it's a program, in which she's going to space. Yes, she's going to a university that's in space. So basically, it's no real return home, no going home for holidays, nothing like that. How she's the first and only person that's ever done this. And when she tells her family, they're looking like, oh, I'm glad you got in, but you're not really going. Like, no one actually goes, but she is like, I'm going, so she does. And while in transit to this university, they happen upon these aliens who basically they're called metals, I believe, and so they are angry at the human race, and they basically want to destroy the human race. Everyone always wants to destroy the human race, but what's her name? Oh, the main character's name is the name of the book. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sorry. Binti. So Binti volunteers to speak on their behalf. So yeah, and then yeah, so that's that. I gave it 3 stars. It was a good, fast, quick 96-page read. It was, you know, set up for the next book. I think there's like 3 to 4 books in the series. I don't remember, but I don't know if I will continue the series. I don't know. I have to think of that one. And then let's see. Then the next book I read was Voice in My Head, and that's by Dana L. Davis. That book was so sad and so funny at the same time. So basically it's about our main character. She is a twin. Her twin is her mirror image, literally, and the problem is she is dying, and then but she doesn't want her twin to die by her, or no, she doesn't want to live by herself without her twin. So she decides to jump off of a roof, I believe, and this is in the beginning of the book. So this is the setup for the whole story. And then before she does that, she hears a voice in her head who says he is God. So throughout the whole book, she is basically doing things to help with her sister, because so the voice in her head tells her that if she goes to this campground or whatever, or spring something, her sister will live. So they set out to accomplish this goal. However, her twin sister is honestly ready to die, and there's a drug that she can take that will basically end her life. And to her, it's not dying, it's just her time. She's ready. She doesn't want to stay alive and be in pain. So that's what it is. It was a really, if you read it, have some tissues by your side. Whether you're gonna laugh or cry, completely up to you, but it's a really good book, and I would suggest anyone to read it. And the last book for the month of February that I read is an anthology, I think I said that word correctly, called Black Enough, and that is by E-Boy, no, I'm saying her name wrong, Ebby, or is it Ebby Zaboy, and it's basically stories of being young and Black in America, and they are some really good stories. The one I do like is the very first story, and it's about, I think it's by Renee Watson, I think. Hold on. Okay, so I don't remember but the first story in the book. So the first story in the book is about, the first story in the book is her story. Sorry, the second story in the book, I think, maybe now I'm all confused, I don't know. So, because I don't have the physical book, I don't want to go flip through my reader and find the story. So anyway, so one of the stories, honestly all the stories are really cute. I don't read anthologies that much, only because I feel like the stories are just like little teasers, and I get invested, and it's like I want more of this story. But of course you can't, because they're like little snips of a story. But so I think I may start reading more anthologies. Who knows? We shall see. It is 2020, and that is the end of my video, and I want to thank you guys for watching. But seriously, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back and supporting me and watching my videos as often as I can post them. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so yeah, so thank you. Without you, this channel would not be possible. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. I'm sorry my brain is not working as fast as I wanted to work, because I am tired and I am hungry. And again, thank you for watching my channel. Come back again and see me. Have a good night, a good morning, good whatever you are having. Make it great.